Hello, I'm Azaikyousuke. Welcome back to Amayui, Labyrinth Meister. So today is a non-gym day. I know I'm still trying to get back to my normal schedule by doing 6 times a week instead of 1 time for the gym. Or sorry, instead of 5 times. So right now I'm about, I don't know, 1 out of 6 weeks that I am trying to catch up on so that I can get my schedule back on track. But yeah, haven't really been doing much today. I just decided to upload most of the backlogs that I have for people on YouTube. But yeah, really all I've been doing was just that, doing my chores and then eat some food. But yeah, here I am with some more Amayui. It speaks volume of me actually still having still having some like not really wanting to play this game after a month. It speaks volume that I still feel that way. The fact that it's been a month and I still feel a bit intimidated by recording this episode, because this game, even though the gameplay is nice and the characters are okay, God, it is still not a very good game. 105 hours. Let me just do the last episode recap, I suppose, before we start. So in the previous episode, we finished off all of the trials that we had to do. All of the Sealed Temple Vilks here. We did the Desire trial, we did the Greed trial, we did the Metal trial. All of those maps were basically just gimmicks, since you had to do them without items, without magic, and I forgot what the last one was. I think you can't attack on melee, maybe? I could be mistaken. But yeah, we finished off all of them and we opened up the path to the area for Queen Shiba, right? Which is right now... Liru Fulard is being possessed by Shiba after we killed off that devil. Which I don't even remember what the name of the devil is because she's so inconsequential. I feel like that's what's going on with this game. Like, a lot of the villains, they don't really... They're not very memorable, right? They have a CG and everything and they look cool, but after you finish them off, you don't really have any memorable, like, feelings about them. Like, she's basically just a guardian that... I don't know, she was guarding Queen Shiba. And she was supposedly the one that made the pact with someone here. And yeah, she's been the one supplying magic towards this country. But I don't even remember her name, man. But okay, yeah, that was literally all we did on the previous episode. The previous couple of episodes. There's been no 8 scene, thankfully. So right now we're just gonna go do this event in the main gate so that we can go to where Giri and that other chick is in Namiya. Also, this game really doesn't have any sort of sense of urgency. I asked Amber to have Sakurfa meet with us so that we can report on the current situation. It seems she gave him a brief summary of the situation before we attempted the trials. But it won't hurt to discuss it in detail again. And that's how we got our hands on these accessories.
これが素晴らしい魔力を秘めている品々ですな。芸術品としての価値も高い。
Sakurfa takes the objects, proving we overcame the trials, and inspects them carefully.
どれも未だ思考性の定まっていない強大なる力。いや、これは染まりきっていないと見るべきだ。手を入れる余地はありそうだな。
His eyes sparkle with a glint of his researcher mentality. It's amazing that he can identify the nature of something just by looking at it. These should be proof that we overcame the trials while wishing to meet the queen. However, I'm not sure how to handle these.
なるほど。確かに先に他の挑戦者から提出されたものを解析しても具体的な扱い方というのは未だ読み解かれていない。 3つ揃った状態でなければいけないのか、それともすでにあるものを利用する形で指向性を定める必要があるのか。
You mentioned there were other challengers.
3つの塔が出現してからその経緯に関する報告を受け、希望者を募り挑戦するのは個々人の自由と定めておりました。
Oh, sorry about that. For some reason, I was going, like my mouse was
その
going
挑戦者たちか
everywhere.
ら一つ試練を乗り越えたが使い方がわからない。
Actually went to my
上
second
空に
monitor
浮か
there.
ぶ神殿以外に関するものを願ったが問題ないかといった意見が集まったのです。
So that's what happened. I see. We weren't the only ones who challenged the trials. Now that I think about it, the towers are easy to access from the ground. Their sudden appearance probably interested some people. I didn't see any other challengers though. Maybe the towers utilize subspace like the labyrinths do.
これほど早く3つの証を手に入れ、さらに全てを同じ願いにより統一させた手腕は見事ですな。他の挑戦者は我が強かったのか、力が足りていない状態なのか、未だ全ての塔を攻略している者はいない模様です。
Stop stroking my ego, just hurry up and tell me what to do. After saying this, he looks down at the three objects in his hand and asks me a question born of uncontained curiosity that betrays his calm look.
使徒殿、こちらをお預かりしてもよいでしょうか。
I don't mind if you do, but do you think you could actually find a way to get to the temple?
我が国の技術と組み合わせれば安全に神殿内へ立ち入る手段を確立できる可能性があります。
Sakurfa looks up at the sky. The temple casts a large shadow on the ground and continues to quietly intimidate the Duchy of Mephi.
現状、あれは外から侵入可能な出入り口が確認できない状態にあります。いや、正確に言えば安全に出入り可能な部分がない。
Is that so? It sounds like you actually tried to break in.
試みて撃退されました。想定よりも強力な術式だったゆえに、その結果がわかるまでに多くが命を落とす結果となってしまいましたがな。
As Sakurfa says this without changing his expression, I look up at him speechlessly.
あれほどの規模はなくとも、個人単位でならば空を飛ぶ手段は我が国にもあります。状態を確かめるために偵察部隊を編成し接近させました。
Why not just send like one person first as a reconnaissance? You really send a lot of people? If one person dies, you don't need to send out like a whole battalion.
あれには全体を覆う魔術結界があり、その突破にすら至れぬまま迎撃用に設置されていると思われる攻撃手段にて撃退されたのです。現在あれはこちらから攻撃を仕掛けた場合のみ反応するように設定されているようです。そして少し前から新たな設定が追加された北西方向への移動です。
So it's heading for the Belgrade Kingdom as we expected.
ええ、あれがベルガラード王国の国境内に入られた場合、もはや我が国から安易に手を出すことは叶いません。
Sadly, we're gonna
何
have
とし
to.
ても止める必要がありました。
Sadly, we're gonna have to fight it in the Belgrade Kingdom, I assume. Man, I really just want to get this game over with, but it's just like so long.
おそらく出現から移動までに時間を要した理由は運用にかかる原動力の確保にあります。
When you say they need driving force, is it comparable to the amount needed by the mass transfer system that Mephi is proud of?
メフィの塔の場合、それらをソロモン魔人の力を吸い上げる形で補っておりましたが、あれは単体で満足に動かすだけの動力源を内部に持っておらぬ様子。
It would require a lot of power for that temple to appear from subspace, float in the sky and move around.
まだ簡易的な調査結果ですが、地面より現れた3つの塔が メフィコ王国の大地より力を吸い出し、あの神殿へ送っているという状態も確認できました。
They work fast. The towers haven't been around for long, but the investigation has progressed to such an extent. So the appearance of those towers isn't just good for us.
各迷宮が暴走状態にあったことと比べれば影響がまだ小さいと思いたいですが、最終的にどれだけ大地が弱るか予測がつかない。早急な対処が必要な状態は変わっていません。このままでは草木は枯れ果て、魔力も枯渇し、生物が自活する際に適さない土地へと変貌してしまうでしょう。
You know, I really do not care, Sakura. Even after all this time that I haven't played this game, the feelings that I feel towards your country is still the same. Your country is garbage, including the people living in there.
かつてベルガラード王国との戦争の果てにそうなった重戦迷宮エボベテのように。しかしだからこそその力の流れを利用して我々もあれの内部への侵入経路が作れるかもしれないと結界を突破し、座標さえ確定できれば我が国が誇る随一の転移魔術をその移動手段に組み込んでしまえばいいのですからな。
Sakura ambitiously raises the corners of his mouth and bears his glaring sense of curiosity. I'm looking forward to it. If you can establish a means of transportation, we'll act as a raiding party as well. Man, if there is actually a bad ending of this game, I hope I got it. I'm not gonna do a new game plus to rectify it. Because if the bad ending kills off Lyra Fullard or whatever, I'd actually be very glad.
任されました。そしてお願いいたします。このような場合でなければ時間をかけて研究したい題材ばかりなのですがな。まったく。
I noticed that a grimace had suddenly appeared on Sakura's face. The circles around your eyes look a bit dark. Are you okay? I guess he hasn't been able to get much rest because of all the incidents that have been happening. I'm a little worried.
睡眠をとっていませんのでお見苦しい姿になっているやもしれません。自作の薬で眠気は飛ばしたのですが肉体的な疲労は隠せなかったようですな。
I didn't know such a thing existed in this country. I feel like he's just deceiving his own body. I don't think that's good for his health. Is he really okay?
少しお時間をいただければ転移魔術を組み込んだ形での移動手段を確立してみせます。おそらく妨害魔術の効果も長くは続かない。あれが再び移動を開始するまでに術式を完成させなければ。ただ時間的な猶予がない中での術式研究もまた面白いもの。このような事態に睡眠をとるなどもったいない。
I see. You said something about magic that prevents movement.
あれが移動を開始したのを確認してからその妨害のために術式を組み立てました。
That's amazing. You were able to create magic that suited the situation so quickly, huh?
構造は単純な移動阻害ですので難しいものではありません。問題はあれだけの質量をとどめるための出力でしたが我が国では魔術師の数には事欠かぬ。しかし猶予はあまりないと思っていいでしょう。大地から吸い取る力が徐々に増している様子。やがて妨害魔術の効果を上回るでしょう。
I feel like there's nothing really wrong with this current scene and the fact that we're trying to get to the temple and there's some hardships to get to the temple. I just feel like a lot of my frustrations and irritation is caused by the amount of filler that we had to get here. Because it's just been so long that, you know, we've actually been in like serious situations. Even like this, I feel like is filler because it's not making me progress the plot any faster, you know? So that's why, hence my irritation right now, and why I'm not so enthusiastic by voice acting Avaro. I understand. Please let us know when you've established a means of transportation. We'll save our energy until then.
お願いします。それではまた後ほど。
After finishing the discussion with Sakura, I returned to my friends who are waiting for me nearby. I feel like, I don't know, this game's like new characters. I don't really care about any of them. I don't care about Liru, I don't care about those two Yuikis, I don't care about Sakura, I don't care about Amber, I don't care about Kuna, I don't care about any of the new characters. Like, instead of making them likable characters, I feel like they're weird. They want to... I don't know. After reporting the Sakura, I returned to the fort and review what I told my friends with Fia. Fia, you really need better shorts. I think I always say this whenever I see her pajamas, but you need better shorts, Fia. Those are way too short. That's hard to say since we don't know what Giri and the others will do, but I can't see how they're not a danger to the Duchy of Mephi. That floating temple appeared after Mephi Tower, which is the heart of this country, was contained. I'm surprised there's been so little mayhem. Mayhem shouldn't... Is mayhem supposed to be like with an E? Okay. I wonder if the nature of the magician mentality that Lyra Fular detested. What? I wonder if the nature of the magician mentality that Lyra Fular detested. I feel like that's an incomplete sentence. Yeah, if that's the case, it's working to our advantage in a way. If one only acts when something concerns them, they'll actively respond to such a concern. This new side of the magicians has come to light due to these incidents. I think I better understand how these magic users behave now. Even Fia, who tends to be rather optimistic, is thinking in this sort of way. That's how much danger the Duchy of Mephi is in right now. However, the inhabitants of Mephi seem to lack this sense of awareness. This is evident from the fact that no one has made a fuss or ran away. It certainly makes me wonder. Considering Sakura's position, I can understand why he tried to remain calm, but this is really abnormal. Does almost everyone in this country have this heightened level of awareness? I thought you said it's a low sense of self-awareness. Lack of self-awareness, right? The hell? Why are you suddenly saying the opposite? That's not quite right. They care more about what concerns them than they do about life and death. That girl told me that's how magicians are. Lyra Fullard said that magicians are selfish and uncooperative. They finally started cooperating only when the country was in crisis. How bullshit. Truly uncooperative people wouldn't even come together even if there's a crisis going on. This is why I feel like this game is also very shallow. The fact that she wanted this to happen would actually show she's never seen the people cooperating together before. She may not have seen it, but if the people of Mephi had a chance to unite, I think that'd be incredibly powerful. Take magic for example. Since everyone here is a mage, what if many of them went into the labyrinths together to become fully qualified? Even if they combined simple magic, it would be quite powerful, wouldn't it?
識を持ってるってこと？
Yeah, Sacrifice-san mentioned that the reason the temple wasn't moving is because of a spell he created. It was hard to understand how difficult the task was just by listening, but I think that's quite amazing. I can't imagine stopping something that big. I'm still trying to find ways to move the fort, but it's hard because it requires a lot of power.
確か北西の方向へ移動しようとしてるんだよね。確かに城塞を動かすのにも今は違うけど、前は私の力の大半を使ってたものね。
That's right. Even though we used divine power, there were many restrictions that kept Garkina Fortress from running perfectly. The Queen of Sheba, who is said to have been a companion of King Solomon, was protected by the power of the sealed Solomon Devil Vinia. There you go, that's her name. Even with all that power, the temple wasn't able to immediately move after it appeared. Sacrifice said that the three towers are draining power from the land. That drained power is probably being used to move the temple. He requested a proper investigation, so I have no reason to doubt him. But how is that even possible? It's unnatural to think that the temple would have no power supply if the towers hadn't appeared. The reason the trial towers appeared is because Kuna answered the riddle that Amber found while researching. I don't think it makes any sense to have the temple run on such an uncertain power source. Something doesn't seem right. We've been behind on knowing things this whole time, like with the Labyrinth and the Solomon Devil Vinia. We need to be more wary. We need to find out what our opposition's true intentions and goals are. If we act without thinking again, I have a feeling we'll fail in the same way again somehow.
アバロ、どうかした？
No, it's nothing. Even now, we have many knowledgeable and powerful magicians who are trying to create a means for us to enter that thing. The power of unity in Mephi is great, and they're trying to prove it to us, and they're hoping we can stop the evil seal group.
そうだね。バンバン期待に応えちゃおう。おや、くーちゃん、さっきから眠たそうだね。無理に起きてなくてもいいんだよ。お布団が君を待ってる。まだお話。
You barely put anything in the table with this discussion, Kuna. The sun had already set, and Kuna was probably tired from the trials. She must be on the verge of falling asleep. If you want to talk, we can do it again tomorrow, right? Yeah, as for Kuna here, I feel like a lot of her like attitude is just, I don't know, I feel like it's bait. Like some people might see this as endearing. I see this as, you know, trying a bit too hard to be a kid. Kuna's eyelids flutter heavily as she tries to stubbornly object. She knows she's pushing herself, but I imagine that there's a reason she's forcing herself. Huh, I see. A family meeting, huh? Speaking of which, you did say you wanted us to properly talk.
そっか、言ってたね。リルちゃんと戦う前のことだ。くーちゃんは自分で言った言葉を守ろうとしてるんだね。
As Kuna begins to nod off, I stroke her head. Fia's brow then furrows as something catches her attention.
あれ、私？
What's wrong, Fia? Is there someone outside the room?
なんか私呼ばれてるみたい。ちょっと行ってくるね。
Huh? You're being called? By who? Fia quickly rushes out of the room without mentioning who was calling her. Fia had left us behind for no apparent reason. Since I knew Kuno was reaching her limit, I lifted her and took her to the bed. Properly talk, huh? What sort of proper talk? Yeah, I feel like a lot of her attitude or a lot of her dialogue is just trying too hard to be kid-like, guys, and it comes off to me anyway as, you know, not natural. Even though her eyes aren't open anymore, she's still displaying great willpower. Don't worry, Kuna. Even if we disagree with each other, I'm sure we can move in the same direction after we have a discussion. Kuna's growing up into a very kind-hearted child. I feel like she values Fia's ideal of forming connections just as much as Fia does. I'm sure the ideal isn't just about valuing family bonds. The ideal encourages talking with and valuing the idea of others, even if it's someone we meet for the first time. Kuna seems to be learning to be like her mother, who is the goddess of bonds who I admire so much. You're in such a hurry to grow up, but you don't have to. I'm sorry if I push it too hard. Apparently, Kuna had completely fallen asleep. As I shook her, a certain object enters my field of vision. Again, Alvaro? God, this is so retarded. God, Alvaro is just so stupid in this game. I get that it's supposed to be contrasting like Alvaro's logical side with this like wishy-washy Alvaro, but God, it just doesn't make sense to me that Alvaro turned into someone retarded. I hear light footsteps approaching from outside the room. Fia must be back.
Alvaro, ちょっと時間いいかな? まだ寝ない?
Ah, yeah. I was going to do some work in the workshop, so I wasn't planning on sleeping yet. Did something urgent come up?
アンベルちゃんがアバロに話があるみたいで調査に来てたんだ。アバロに会いたかったみたい。
Amber's here. Amber timidly walked into the room. She looked uncomfortable for some reason.
悪い、こんな夜更けに。眠れなくてさ。
If you're here for sex, I swear to God. Don't worry, I feel the same way. There's a lot to think about.
フィア、本当にいいのか? 私はフィアがダメって言うなら。
Fuck this game, man.
私は恋する乙女の味方だから大丈夫。せっかく紡いだ縁だもん。
Fuck this game, bro. What is this game? My opinion of it just keeps going lower and lower even though it already hit rock bottom. I guess the reason why it can still go that way because it hasn't reached rock bottom. And yet it just keeps giving me reasons to hate it. What the fuck is this?
本当ごめん。ありがとう。フィア。
Oh my god, this is why this game is garbage.
アバロ、ここじゃクーナを起こしちゃうかもしれないから、ちょっと外に移っていいか?
I didn't think she'd really take me outside when she said that. We're pretty far away from my room now. Amber, you took me out pretty far. Is there something you don't want people to hear?
そうだな。人に見られたら、さすがに私も嫌だからな。
I'm not a human dildo, you know, or an elf dildo or whatever.
っていうか、アバロンにも見られるの恥ずかしいからここまで来たっつうのもあるかも。なあ、ここって暗いよな。 誰もいないならいいんだ。
Yeah, hurry it
今
up.
から情けないこと言ってもいいか。
Sure, whatever. I'm not even voice acting Avra anymore because of how disappointed I am.
私本当は戦うの怖いんだ。あのギアリーとかいうやつとも、芝の女王とも、リルとも戦いたくない。怖いよ。
Scared of what?
だってみんな私より強いんだぜ。なんで私が戦うことになってるんだ。おかしいだろ。私は落ちこぼれで弱くて、魔術だって下手っぴで、何にもできないんだぞ。
Man, I thought you already had your character arc. What is with this wishy-washy bullshit now, Amber?
そんなの私の力じゃない。女神様が、使徒様が、仲間がみんな力を貸してくれたからだろ。
I feel like she should have done this after we finished that qualifying last labyrinth. This is just so out of nowhere. Why are you doing this now? You should have done that after we got qualified. It's been what, a couple of other dungeons, and then now you bring this up? The timing is off. I mean, I'm not disagreeing with her. Yes, she's still garbage. But, you know, the timing is off. Why even accept the fact that you're not garbage before then? Why lie to yourself?
一人前になれたのはそりゃ嬉しいよ。けど怖いんだ。ずっと怖い。期待に応えようとすることも、これから戦わなきゃいけないことも、全部私には荷が重いんだよ。
I don't have any sympathy or empathy for you, Amber.
おかしいよ。なんでこんなことになってるんだ。私はただの案内人だ。それでさえおじい様に割り振られただけ。こんな国の大事に関われるような人間じゃないんだよ。
I feel like even if she was a guide, she should like she can run away from this like after she got qualified. We didn't like it's not as if we forced her to join us in this fight. Like you're actually the only person that can run away, Amber. Like all of us are actually determined, but no one's forcing you.
そうじゃない。みんなに出会えたのは嬉しいし、案内人の役目だって重いけどやめたいわけじゃない。でもみんなはメフィ公国に住んでない。いつかは自分の国に帰っちゃう。
So, without us, I guess you're gonna lose your confidence again?
私はずっと一人だったんだ。おじい様は忙しいし、両親だって基本的に家にいない。ずっと私は一人で怖がってた。魔術の才能がなかった私はロキ家の中でいっつも後回し。でもそんなことなんか聞いてない、大したことないって思いたくて、周りに対して強く当たって、実力もないのに強がって。
You wanted to show everyone you were strong even though you lacked the ability? That's just stupid. If you actually wanted to be strong, then train more than those other people. Fuck, this girl is pissing me off.
でも結局一人じゃ全然ダメで、何をやってもうまくいかなくて、友達だってうまく作れなかった。ロキ家だってことが私にとっちゃ足かせになってたんだ。ロキ家だからロキ家なのに基準が全部そこにあるんだ。いろいろと足りない私は呪いみたいに感じてたよ。
Why not get out of the country?
私がダメなのは家のせいじゃない。そこだけはそう思いたくない。
You're kind of blamed because you were in the Loki family, though. You kind of blamed them in it.
ただ私は一人が嫌なだけなんだ。家族っていう感覚もうまく理解できてないくらいなんだぜ。
So what?
あるんだよ。案内人として一緒に行動しててさ、クーナを心の底から羨ましいと思ったよ。それも一度じゃなく何度も何度もさ。
Again, I say, so what? I've also felt jealous of Kuna, and that's because her current family is much better than, the typical family. So what?
こんなにも温かく自分のことを大事にしてくれる人がいてくれたらなって思わずにいられなかった。
God, stop living in the past, Amber.
私にもそういう人がいたら少しは自分のことが好きになれたのかなって。私はもう大人だからわがまま言っていい立場じゃないことは分かってる。
No, I think most adults are actually pretty selfish.
リルとの女王との戦いだって逃げるつもりはない。ただ聞いてほしかったんだ。本当は私が弱虫でダメダメなやつだってこと。それでも頑張りたい気持ちもあるって知っててほしかったんだ。
Okay.
そう言ってくれて嬉しいけど私も一人前になっちまったからさ。そこは自分で折り合いつけるよ。できないかもだけどなんとかする。でもさ、よかったら慰めてくれるかなって。私は一人だったけど今だけは甘えてもいいかなってそう思ったんだよ。
This is why sometimes people look down on hentai games, man. Any situation they would always make it into, into a sexual act at some point.
これから何が起こるのかわからなくて怖い気持ちでいっぱいになって止まってくれなくて眠れなくて外歩いてて気がついたらここに来てたんだ。男に慰めてもらおうだなんて達成かもしんないけどさ、他に思い浮かばなかったんだよ。フィアに聞いたらいいよって言ってくれた。器がでっかいよな、ほんと。横取りなんて考えてない。今日だけでいいんだ。怖くて眠れない私の不安を慰めてくれないか。私の弱い部分から今日だけでも目をそらせるようにごまかせるように抱いてほしい。私と体を重ねてくれねえかな。
Okay, she's not done.
いいのか？そう言ってくれてマジで嬉しい。本当できるならそうしたいくらいだ。でもごめん、私はロキ家から離れる気はないし、メフィ公国でやりたいことがようやく見つけられそうなんだ。私だけの力じゃないけどもう一人前になっちまったからやりたいことはやっておきたい。そういう後悔はしたくないから。
Sorry about that. I keep skipping her sentences. And yeah, I realized after the month break that when I was speaking fast during those times when I'm angry, it was just making me more pissed off. So that's why I decided to just be quiet.
このスケこまし野郎が そういう言葉は女神様だけに言ってりゃいいんだよ。
God, this game is ass, guys. Patreon.com Azaikyousuke. I'll see you guys after this scene ends. Ugh. Alright, we're done.
ありがとうな。随分と不安な気持ちがなくなった。
You really shouldn't use sex for that, Amber. You really gotta find a way to get rid of that anxiety yourself. Yeah, shut up, Alvaro.
ほんとそれ。そういうの気をつけた方がいいぞ。ダメに決まってるだろ。いくら使徒様だってな、大勢の女を囲っていいなんてことはねえんだ。実際にそうなってんだからそうなんだよ。たくよ、そのうち刺されても知らねえぞ。身の回りに気をつけろよな。眠気も戻ってきたから、私は家に帰るよ。そんじゃあまた明日な。私なんかが役に立つかわからねえけど、精一杯頑張ってみるよ。
Man, I don't want to save this country at all. End of the chapter. Final chapter, please.
今を生きる夢。
Thank you. I don't know how long the finale is gonna be, but at the very least, we are in the final chapter, and I'm gonna be done. I'm gonna be free from this game. Got this game. It gave me a whole lot of emotions playing this game, of course. It was from excited to feeling nothing, to feeling disappointment, to feeling even more disappointment, to feeling even more disappointment. Yes.
今すごく揺れたよね。大きな魔力がぶつかったのはグアラクーナ城塞じゃないみたいだけど、この近くだった。
Kuna wasn't reacting strongly. The wings on her back weren't resonating either. It must not be related to a magic wedge or a Renma seal crystal. The magical impact didn't happen here. It was nearby.
もしかして町の方で何かあったのかな。町の方？何かあった？さっきのドーンってやつ？そうだと思う。空に浮かんでるあれ関係かな。だとしたら結構な大事だよね。様子を見に行きたいけど。
I'll go talk to the others. Via, go get ready with Kuna. Let's head to Mephi Riwalan right away. As I rushed to the scene with my friends, it had already begun. Well, it must have started when we felt that tremor earlier.
総員魔力を捧げよう。おう、少しでも防護結界を強化するぞ。
At Sacrifice command, many mages gather at the main gate, raise their staves, and send their magic power somewhere. Where is it going?
アンベルちゃん、何があったの？
みんな来てくれたんだな。いや、来てよかったのかわからねえけどさ。
アンベルお姉ちゃん、みんな真剣な顔。
ああ、そりゃそうだ。こんなメフィ公国が滅ぶかどうかって瀬戸際でのんきにしてられるわけねえよ。
Huh. The Duchy of Mephi is at the brink of destruction. Please tell me what happened. Amber didn't reply, but instead squints and points up at the sky.
からめっちゃすげえ威力の力の塊が、いや巨大な魔力を束ねた攻撃魔術が街に向かって放たれたんだ。
After I'm done with the game, I'm actually gonna take a look and see if there's a guide for this game somewhere. Just to try and take a look whether or not there is a bad ending. Because so far it doesn't seem like I'm on the road to the bad ending. An attack that used immense magic power. That was the cause of the impact and tremor.
幸いメフィリエロンには結界が張ってあるから、それで大事には至らなかった。でももう結界の効果もボロボロで、次は耐えられないかもしれないっておじいさまは話してて。
Is there a possibility that the offensive spell can be unleashed again?
わかんねえ。けどもし次があった時、何の準備もしてませんでしたじゃ話にならないだろ。そんで今みんなが魔力を送って街を守ってる防護結界を強化してるんだ。ほら、門の周りに魔力が展開されてるのが見えるだろ。あれが結界だよ。
I see. So the magicians gather in at the front gate were sending their magic to the barrier covering the city. If I look hard enough, I can see it. It looked like the wall of light surrounding the city was thick and slowly solidifying.
悪い。私も魔力を送る一員に入ってるんだ。後の詳しい話は近くにいるおじいさまに聞いてくれ。
私たちも魔力を送った方がいいかな。
I should actually save my game. You never know when my game might crash.
いや、これからどんなことが起こるかわからないんだ。おじいさまとの話がどういう形に転ぶかもわからねえ。みんなは参加しないでほしい。
Okay, thanks for telling me what happened. I'll let you know if we make any progress on our end. I felt a bit sad, but then I realized that it truly was important to have people in perfect condition ready. As Amber recommended, I head to the spot where Sacrifice and Cabot are assembled.
フィア様、それに使徒殿、ご足労いただき感謝すると言いたいところですが、今この状況にてこの場を訪れたのは賢明な判断ではない。なぜ城塞にとどまらなかった？
みんなが大変な時だから駆けつけたかったの。ごめんなさい。
女神が案じるべきはご自身の恩義であり、我々メフィ公国のものではない。どうかそれを忘れないでいただきたい。
I mean, that's just how Fia is, Sacrifice. It's hard to deny that what Sacrifice said as he gives us a stern look. The first thing we should take care of is Fia herself. We also must protect Fuchsia's followers. Mephi has nothing to do with us. If another magic attack was fired and Fia got hurt, where would the responsibility lie? That must be why Sacrifice said what he did. I'm sorry that we came to you so carelessly. However, we're already involved in the sequence of events. If we can help, let us know.
いえ、こちらこそ。このような余裕のない状況ゆえに、言葉が強くなってしまい申し訳ない。しかし、優先順位を考慮した上で行動してもらえれば助かります。確かに協力していただきたいことはある。まずはお預かりしていたこれを。
Alright, time to teleport there. Sacrifice handed me a jewel. I could feel its dense magic power just by touching it.
これを用いれば、女王シバがいるであろう神殿の内部へ転移できるはず。時間が足りなく検証も済んでおりませんが、お頼み申す。
Amazing. You were able to convert those accessories from the trials into a keystone so quickly. We understand our role now. Let's head to the Mephi Tower.
メフィ公国の諸君、必死に結界に力を注いでいるようだな。無駄な努力ご苦労。私の力を思い知ってもらえただろうか。
God, if you were Gaidal Giri, he would have fired that laser maybe just, as soon as the fortress was up. An ominous voice echoes from the sky, drowning out my words. It was a very malicious greeting from Giri Gaidal, a member of the Evil Seal Group.
姿を見せる機能がないようだが、声は届けられるようだ。そして力もな。残念ながら 見事防護結界に防がれてしまったのは理解してもらえただろう。この救命神殿ビルキースの脅威と私がどのような事態を引き起こそうとしているのか、なぜこのような攻撃を警告もなくメフィ公国に仕掛けたのか、それを知りたいかな。
My throat rumbles as I gulp. It seems that everyone at the main gate wanted to know the answer. Why is Gear trying to destroy the Duchy of Mephi? I heard why when we first met her, but I dismissed it as a bad joke.
実はそこまで大した理由はないんだ。ただ妨害してきて邪魔だったから、ただ目障りだったからだ。
Really? That's why you want to target this country?
どうかな。一人の気分でこんなにも簡単に滅亡の危機が訪れる。神に支配されている我らの絶望に少しは共感してもらえただろうか。支配するという怖さはこういうことなんだ。それを覆すために私は戦う。大昔にあった戦争に負けた人間族の世界に属する神々は表舞台には出てこなくなった。どこかにいるのかもしれないが、もはや人間族のためには戦ってはくれない。自分を信仰しろ。支配しながらそう押し付けてくる神にあらがい、命を落として戦う者はもう残り少ないのだ。私は私の信念に沿って神に支配されない世界を作る。そのために神を信仰すると被害が出ると人々に分かってもらうしかない。信仰する者が少なくなれば神は弱体化する。今の私に神を殺せるほどの力はないからな。私の力が通用するようになるまで弱らせる。すべては計画通りに進んでいるよ。まずは手始めにメフィ公国の魔術師どもを殺してみせよう。魔術という他者に依存する技術や文化は目障りだからな。
Yuri then takes a deep breath. She must have said what she wanted to say. I could tell she's trying to remain calm, but her voice betrays the uncontrollable joy she's feeling in anticipation of what's about to happen.
もはや交渉の余地はない。本来ならば万全の状態を期してから行動に移す予定だったのだ。女神や使徒が半虫のように飛び回っていてはこちらも安心できないのでね。私は神を相手にするための準備で忙しい。このまま悠長にメフィ公国へとどまっている気はない。神に祈る時間すら許されずに潰れろ。
ダメ、ギアリーさん、そんなことをしたら。
無知も甘いな魔術師は皆殺しだ。
As she says those words, the air around the temple in the sky distorted as an unusual amount of power gathers around it.
来るぞ総員、力の限り魔力を注げ。
Everyone, we must also pour our magic power to support the barrier in any way we can. A magic cannon that could destroy Mephi Riwalon in a single blow unleashes its power.
どうしてこんなことに。
The landscape violently shakes in every direction. The wall of light covering the city softens the impact in an attempt to lessen the damage.
なんという重い攻撃か。これほどの攻撃魔術、どのように成立している。
Even though almost every magician gathered at the main gate is channeling their magic into the barrier, it doesn't completely nullify the attack. In the midst of everyone's uproar and anxiety, I couldn't help but to gasp at the incredible sight of my vision being filled with magical light.
なんて威力。これは数えて2度目の攻撃のはず。初めに予告もなくこんな攻撃を受けてよく無事だったものだ。
それだけ常時展開している結界が優秀だったということなのでしょうね。ですわね。 だからこそ強固な結界が維持できなくなる事態を避けるようメフィ公国の民が動いていると見ていいはずですわ。
Eventually, the impact of the magical assault ceases and the distortion around the temple in the sky fades away. Has it settled down?
見る限りでは余波すらも無視できない攻撃魔術はたとえ防護結界で防げていても術師が大きく疲弊してしまいますね。ビリビリすごかった。街の中の魔力も変な感じ。
After looking up at the sky and determining that the attack stopped, Sacrifa calls out.
防護結界は状態はどうなっている？
Cabert was the one who answered as he came to the main gate in a hurried yet graceful manner.
結界の核となる術式を確認してきましたが、良くないですね。もはや限界に近い。もってあと一度。奇跡が起きても二度で壊れるでしょう。
あと一度が限界か。結界だけではない。急遽こしらえた結界へ魔力を流動させる術式の維持にも負担がかかっている。悠長にしている時間はなさそうだ。
Sorry about that. I was about to tell Sacrifa that I would help defend the city, but an ominous voice rang out again and it interrupted me.
おい、また防がれてしまった。本当に虫のようにしぶといやつだ。しかし、何度それを維持できるか楽しみだ。結界を維持するのも楽じゃないだろう。さて諸君はこう思い始めている頃だろうな。あと何度これに耐えればよいのかと。
That's right. I wonder how many times you can unleash a big attack like that. If we figure that out, we can determine our best course of action. I don't see any way such a blow could kill a god. However, it could easily cripple a major city in a single blow. Surely it can't use it that often.
私はちゃんと把握していたぞ。君たちがどれだけ希望を持って動いていたのか。愚かにもこの救命神殿ビルキースへ至る手段を作ろうと大地に現れた塔を攻略していただろう。その結果はどうなった？うまく順序立てて効率的に対処していたつもりなのだろうが、それは見当違いだと言っておこう。勘違いしてもらっては困る。君たちが塔を訪れている間、私が何もしていないけどね。
Yes.
君たちが対応準備を重ねた時間、私も準備を進めていた。どういう意味かわかるだろうか。
No. At Giri's prompting, I remember what Sacrifa had said. Power is being drained from the earth through the 3 towers that appeared in the Duchy of Mephir. This power is flowing to the temple in the sky. No way. The power that's being drained from the ground of the Duchy of Mephir is being unleashed as offensive magic. If that's the case, then it doesn't matter how many more times she can attack us. We have to assume she did it because she knows she can win.
希望を持った瞬間にそれが崩れる絶望とはどんな味だ？その表情を直接見られなくて残念だ。
He basically did nothing. All the power came from the towers. So yeah, he basically did nothing then while we were going through the towers.
では諸君、私から告げることはこれで終わりだ。せいぜい無駄にあがき楽しませてほしい。さようなら、メフィ公国魔術師。
This is why you're a garbage villain, Giri. As I said, I keep saying this a lot, but Gaidal would have gave 0 fucks and would have just killed everyone straight up. He doesn't do the typical villain bullshit about how he wants to see people squirm. No, he just kills them. The moment Giri stops speaking, a commotion spreads at the front of the main gate.
なんということだ。もはや体内に残る魔力が底をついているぞ。
魔力回復急げ。体力に余裕のある者は店から回復薬を持ってこい。
自分で行け。それより交代で休憩を取る方が効率的だ。 少しでも長く防げるようにするために人員を管理するべきだろう。
どうすればいいの？魔力を注ぐだけならって思ってたけど、こんなことになるなんて。逃げちゃうのもありなのかな。せめてレフィリュエロンから転移してどこかの迷宮に行けば安全なんじゃない？みんながそうしたらこの町が確実に壊れちゃう。あの戦争の時みたいに頼るべき相手のいない人が増えてもいいの？
They're actually reusing the voice actresses for those orphans, I think. She sounds familiar. Some try to cope with the situation while others only think of themselves. Confusion spreads as Giri's words make them dread an oncoming death. Just because most of the people are magicians doesn't mean their thinking is unified. That's why various kinds of magic were created. In that way, this particular aspect shows its strength. But this time, we need to make sure everyone is unified or we'll never overcome this turmoil.
さて、困りましたね。やるべきことは山ほどあるが、何を優先して動けばいいのか。
国民へ、おのおの所定の位置へ移動し、結界の術式へ魔力を捧げるよう勧告しなくては。
それに従ってくれるなら良いですが、難しいでしょう。皆、我が身が可愛い。それは魔術師でなくてもそうだ。
Yeah, fair enough.
だとしても、それしか手はない。まずは結界の維持が最優先だ。さもなくば国が滅ぶ。
I called out the sacrifice to discuss what we should do. May I have a moment? I helped out due to the urgency of the situation, but after hearing those words, leaving doesn't seem to be an option. I'm sure you need more people to help supply magic right now. Please allow us to join you.
助かります。もはや遅いかもしれませんが、万が一の場合は我らのことは放置し、被害を受けぬうちにこの国から離れることを約束していただきたい。
We got the fucking keystone. Let's just go inside and kill those guys.
そんな約束はできないよ。そんなことをしたら私は後悔するどころじゃないもの。きっと大丈夫だよ。なんとかなるって信じてるし、そのための行動もする。それに万が一が起きたとしたら、それはもう外交問題どころじゃない、悲劇なんじゃないかな。
そうですな。最悪の万が一が起こった場合、それはもはや国が正常な形を取れていない。この状況ではフィウシア教との関係性の悪化を気にするよりも、万が一を起こさないよう手を尽くすべき。
みんなで協力してそうしたい。私、ふーちゃんが誇れる親になりたいんだ。メフィ公国のみんなが困ってるのに、自分だけ背中を向けるなんて、そんな姿を見せたくないの。ママ、いつもかっこいいの？ありがとう。いつもそう思ってもらえるよう頑張るね。
親のあり方ですか。命を落とさぬようくれぐれも注意なされよ。我々は結界の維持に努めます。それに女神や使徒、その一行が協力していただけるならば願ってもないこと。
やることは単純ですのでご安心を。町を覆う結界に向けて魔力を注ぐ、それだけです。難しい流用転換は術式が補助してくれますからね。
Understood. We'll help out in that way.
全力で魔力を送っちゃうよ。なんとかしてメフィ公国を守らないと。ああ、クモ、メフィ公国守るよ。
After talking with the two of them, we returned to our friends who were a short distance away. Amber was talking with some of our other friends.
どうだった？アバロたちがこれからどう動くのか決まったか？
We did talk about that. We're going to stay here and use our magic to strengthen the barrier. Actually, it might have been better to use the keystone that Sacrifice Sun created for us to transfer inside the temple, but we don't have enough time to do that given the current situation. It would be terrible if Mephireolon was destroyed while we were in the temple. We need to protect the city first.
そっか。
Just split up, dude.
助かるよ。正直こっからどうなるかわかんないもんな。女神様とその仲間が力を貸してくれるなら心強い。
Some people in our party don't even have that much magic power, right? Like, let's say Avaro and Diet.
へへアンベルちゃんはもうとっくに女神の仲間なんだよ。一緒にメフィ公国のために頑張ろう。アンベルお姉ちゃん仲間。
ありがとう。
The amicable exchange calms my mind, but I immediately realize this isn't the time for that. Guys, I know you heard what Yuri said. Anyone have any ideas aside from sending our magic?
さっきから話し合ってはいたんだが、やっぱ最重点にどれほど時間がかかるかが鍵だな。
Well, the first one and the second one seems to be pretty quick.
吸い取られた力の量を測る方法がなければ、相手が攻撃魔術を放てる残数も推測が難しいです。一撃目と二撃目の間隔を考えれば、そう時間はかからずに再び攻撃されると考えた方がいいでしょうね。
っていうかよ、あれが特大の攻撃魔術を放つための力をどこから得ているのかは判明したが、まさか無制限ってことはないよな。
そんなことありえるんでしょうか。大地の力が減りすぎたら草木も生えない土地になってしまうんですよね。でも今のところそんな傾向は見られませんね。影響が出るのはすぐではなく、数年数十年と月日が経った後にそうなっちゃうんでしょうか。
I heard that wars in the past drained the earth, as in the beast war Maze Ebobete. It seems like this whole area will be affected soon. I don't know how much power had to be drained to cause that level of degeneration, but I know we need to stop this soon. While we were conquering the trial towers, the enemy was repairing themselves too. Naturally, time affects everyone equally. We don't solely benefit from it. While we were going through the three trials, the other side was siphoning power using the three towers. The towers are still standing. That means the temple is still being filled with power. If there's not enough power, they can just drain more. The time interval between the first two shots isn't enough information to work with.
そういうことかよ。
それでは塔の破壊もしくは排除のために動くのはどうかしら。大地から力が吸い取れなくなれば攻撃回数を絞れるわ。
I guess we can use the fortress to destroy it.
それは必要だと思うが、やはり懸念点は時間だろうな。
先ほどアバロが告げた考えと同じですわね。我々が神殿内に乗り込む間に町が壊されてしまう可能性が高い。あれだけの塔という建造物を破壊、もしくは機能を停止する時間を相手は待ってくれないでしょう。塔を攻略している時にその機能に気づけていれば、少しは今の状況も違ったかもしれないわね。
What would he have done? Like blow up the tower from inside? That's still stupid, Rosalina. I don't think we could have done anything. That said, if we'd known that what they were planning from the start, we could have stopped them before reviving Queen Sheba. There's much to regret. We've been slow to respond to them. We'll just have to find out how to handle our current situation. Amber, do you think there's a way to make the towers disappear in any of the books you read?
多分なかった。そもそもが問いかけに答えると塔が出現するなんてのも文献には記されてなかったんだ。どの記述がそれに関係しているのか把握できてね。
So in the end, sending magic power to the barrier is the best course of action we can realistically take. We need to stay here to send our magic, but if we send too much, we'll be more tired and won't be able to act as quickly. As we consider our options and fail to find an effective response, Kuna speaks up.
お、なんだクナ。
結界魔術とあの攻撃って似てる？
そりゃどういう意味だ？攻撃と防御の魔術で全然似てねえと思うけど。
そうじゃなくて力が集まってそれを使って
そういうことか。確かに外部から魔力を供給してそれを束ねて術式として成立させてるって意味なら似てるのかな。
結界の魔力どこに集まる？
街のいろんなところに結界を維持するための術式が設置されてるよ。なんなら実際に見てみるか？
見てみたい。どんな風に力変換されてるのかな。
God, I don't like Kuna. Amber takes Kuna to look at the magic conversion spell that's installed at the main gate. We need to take action to address each of our concerns. For now, let's do what we can to strengthen the barrier. You guys aren't tired from before, right?
さっきはとっさにだったし、そこまで時間もかかってなかったから私は平気だよ。まだまだ元気。
As I look around at my friends, they all nod confidently, showing they can still keep going. It wouldn't be ideal if we all got tired, so let's send our magic power one by one.
本当はもっと他にもやれることがあったらいいんだけどね。あの神殿から攻撃されないようにできればそれが一番いいもんね。
Yeah, the barrier isn't a problem. The worst part is we don't have a way to fight back and there's no hope that the situation will improve. They're in the sky and our attacks won't reach them. Even if we could, most attacks wouldn't be effective enough to stop the temple. Since the attack is one-sided, we have no choice but to endure. I keep thinking of how we could change that, but nothing's coming to mind.
希望的観測で考えるならば、次の攻撃を受け止めた後すぐに神殿へ乗り込むことですね。
Yeah, we should probably go to the Mephi Tower quickly and reach the center of the temple to stop its movements. Or we can stop its attack function.
それをあれだけ大きな建造物の中をどこに転移されるのかもわからない状況で内部を探索しながら次の攻撃が街へ放たれるまでに行う。
She said so many things and yet the dialogue is only like that, Jesus. Yeah, the plan has its issues, but this is the only way.
やはり何とかして相手が連続で攻撃してくる状況そのものを止めないといけない。それしか勝機はありません。相手が使ってるの大地の力。相手は消耗してない。ずるい。
こっちは結界を強化するのに自分の魔力を使ってんだからな。消耗戦になれば負けるぜ。
だからこそ今のうちにしっかりと結界を強化して確実に攻撃を受け止められるようにしないとですね。
ちょっとあれ嘘だろ。どうして今回はこんなに早く。さっきの攻撃からまだそんなに時間経ってないだろうが。
I nodded to my friends and was about to say which order people should send their magic, but then Amber shouted out loud as she noticed something. The distortion of despair meant to reap hope was forming around the temple again.
また来るぞ。急いで全力で魔力を注げ。
やるしかない。絶対に防いでみせる。
It hadn't been that long since the last attack. It seemed to come faster and faster, as if she'd gotten the hang of it. No, maybe it's draining power from the earth faster. Our opposition wouldn't care what happens to the Duchy of Mephi. Let's help out too. Everyone, hurry and send your magic power. As Fiora ran over to Kuna, who was a fair bit away, the tremors began to intensify.
総員備えよう。対衝撃防御。
An even larger blow that serves to ruthlessly reap the buds of our hope unleashed against Mephi Riwalon.
なんという。さっきよりも威力が大きいぞ。
Even though our friends poured magic power in as quickly as they could, it dissipated as the powerful attack struck the exhausted barrier. We didn't even finish reinforcing the barrier yet. The entire city shakes violently. It was impossible to stand properly and people were holding nearby objects to avoid falling over. There was little direct damage thanks to the barrier, but its structure must have become frail. The barrier did its job. While it was less effective at negating compared to the previous blow, the attack magic did little damage. The surrounding builds were cracked due to the barrier collapsing. No. The surrounding builds? I'm guessing that's supposed to be buildings. The barrier collapsed to disperse the impact and limit the damage.
今回は威力を上げる代わりに放射の時間が短くなっていたようだ。相手側も工夫しておる。
非常にまずいですね。もはや結界は見た目しか機能していないハリボテ状態です。
くっそー、もう結界の構造がズタズタだ。もし次があったら。
As the people who understood the barrier structure inspected, it started again. Magic power fluctuates as if it's trying to dash any remaining hopes.
嘘だろおい。何なんだよ。
血はどんだけ連発できんだよ。たく、こんなにも分が悪い戦いはなかなかなかったな。
I mean, I don't know how long it's been since the tower, appeared, but I assume they actually do have a magic reservoir or something inside.
無制限でしょうか。これほどの攻撃を成立させてしまった時点で我々は敗北していたのかもしれません。おそらく次は防げないぞ。攻撃の規模が違いすぎる。
街が吹き飛ぶような一撃ですものね。遺体すらも残らない可能性が高いですわ。直撃を受けずに助かっても5体満足とはいかないかもしれませんね。起死回生の一手があれば良いのですが。神に反逆すると意気込む理由もわかるわね。ここまで規格外な存在と兵器はそうないでしょう。メヒ公国は神様じゃないのに、神様を信仰してる人なんて世界中にいますよ。
This country worshipping God? I actually don't think this country worships God all that much, to be honest.
世界全部が敵。それを宣言しても勝てると踏んだ。止めることができませんでした。こんなの絶対に間違ってます。
The voices of my friends sounded resigned. I felt the same. I knew in my mind there was nothing I could do. I just couldn't find a way out of this. I thought Fia should at least escape, but then I heard a voice.
一か八かやってみるよ。
Fia, what are you saying?
私は単体であれを止める大きな力はないけど、結界はまだ完全に壊れてはないはずだから、限界まで捧げる。そうすれば短い間、一時的にだけでもみんなが頑張った時と同じくらいの硬さにまでは持ってけると思う。
I'm not gonna voice act this. I'm really not hyped or anything, guys. So anything with like exclamation marks, I just feel like I'm gonna botch.
最悪、力を使いすぎて存在を保てないかもしれないけど、それでも街が壊れないでみんなが助かるならその方がいいと思うんだ。私が決死の思いで力を振り絞っただけでたくさんの命が助かるなら絶対にその方がいいよ。ダメだよ。万が一にでもクーちゃんを一人にしちゃいけないでしょ。アバロがいるから私はこうして無茶できるんだもん。クーちゃんの前でカッコつけさせてもらうね。ママの言うし見ててほしいけど、怖い思いもするかもだから目をつむってても大丈夫だよ。ママ、ダメだよ。クーちゃん、ママは神様なんだ。だからこの世界を守る責任があるの。できる範囲でみんなを守りたいんだ。それに何よりも家族であるクーちゃんを守りたいの。
Kuna clenches her small fists as Fia pats her in the head. Fia then puts on a determined face.
集中集中。いきなり力を注いで 壊れかけの結界を完全に壊しちゃうわけにはいかないもんね。さあ行くよ。全力を出しつつ繊細に結界の強化のために力を捧げる。
As if it sensed Fia's readiness, the temple fired again.
もうダメなんだ。こんな終わりなんてあんまりだよ。
The large-scale attack that looked like it was about to hit us was stopped by a hastily deployed barrier.
お願い、これで止まって。
Everyone gathered at the front of the main gate turns their attention to Fia. A ray of hope emerges from their despair-filled eyes.
なんてことだ。たった一人の魔力で
縁結びの女神様。あれは女神フィア様だ。いくら自分が危ないからといっても、我ら全員を守るよう結界に力を注ぐなど。
フィア様、女神様、神のご加護、私たちに。
Everyone's feelings seem to be granting power to Fia. She boldly raises her voice to block the offensive magic.
絶対にみんなを死なせないよ。やー。
Earlier, Fia said she wanted to protect Kuna by herself. However, I could feel my body reacting on its own. I won't let Fia fight this alone. As Fia's a puzzle, as her lover both in public and private, I'll support her feelings with my power as much as I can. The offensive magic that was pouring from the Seal Temple Vilks then ceased firing.
奇跡か。もはや壊れかけの結界をここまで。
受け止めたよ。
Sorry about that. Fia's body sways from side to side before she collapses. I managed to catch her while she tries to put on a strong smile. I felt a little wobbly on my feet too, probably since I exerted myself, but now...
少し無茶しちゃった。やったね。みんなに怪我がなくてよかった。
I feel like that was a bit too easy to be blocked. I don't know. I'm feeling a bit unsatisfied by how we blocked that attack.
取り返しのつかない悲劇が生まれちゃう前に止めないとね。
なんだよこんなの卑怯だろ。
もう終わりで、女神様が守ってくれたにもかかわらず私たちは死んだわ。
Voices filled with despair cascade at the main gate. I also wanted to indulge in the helpless feeling of giving up on everything, but... Fia, everyone, we need to get away from here quickly. We need to get as far away from the city as possible. Even if the chance to survive is small, we need to avoid taking a direct hit.
やむを得ん。敵方の戦力を見誤っていた私の責だ。移動が可能な人員は少しでもここから退避せよ。
Yeah, I guess like what that like magician said was actually true. We should have just teleported to a labyrinth. Like, while this thing is still here, it can't actually attack us in a different labyrinth, right? If it tries to attack us in a different labyrinth, it has to move to that specific area.
もはやメフィリウェロンは、いや、魔術大国であるメフィ公国は終わりを迎える。
As Sakura calmly speaks these words of resignation, Fia is shaken to the core.
ダメだよアバロ。私ならまだ大丈夫だから。もう一回また。だから私は置いてみんなと。
Fia, come on. What's important isn't the place. It's not the history. It's the people. As long as we keep everyone alive, we can rebuild Mephi Riwalon. As I try to stop Fia from standing up, a voice echoes in front of the main gate. With a loud voice, a little girl smaller than everyone else steps in front of us. Kuna. What is it? The barrier is already in tatters and everyone's magic power is greatly exhausted. If Fia hadn't risked her life to block an attack, we wouldn't have had the time to stop it. We can't stop the next one. There's nothing we can do.
くーちゃん、ごめんね。たくさん怖がらせちゃったよね。でも大丈夫だから。ママが次もきっと守るから。
I feel like this is so weird, man. Like,
くーちゃんはみんなと一緒に逃げて。
I mean, like, I kind of already knew that Kuna was gonna do something like this since in the opening there was a CG about her, like, shielding Alvaro and Fia, right? But in this context, it doesn't make sense to me. Why would she be protecting, like, the country? If it was just Fia and Alvaro, I would understand, but the country?
子供だけど普通じゃないよ。力いっぱいある。ママにも負けないくらい大きい力と責任持ってる。それってどういう。さっきのママすごかった。すごくかっこよかった。でも死んじゃダメ。誰かがいなくなるのは悲しいかな。
That's what I'm saying, though. It's not like we're gonna die. We're just gonna abandon this area.
一番いいのはみんなが元気で全部終わった後笑っていられること。ママはずっとそうやって来てた。クーがまだクーじゃない時魔石だった頃からずっとママはそれを目指してたもん。それはでもクーちゃん、もう他に方法がなくて。クーに力を集めて。そうすればクーが死んで止める。絶対止める。止めてみせる。
But how? When I was about to ask, Kuna answers me.
クーは天才だからできる。みんなは難しくてもクーならできる。
As Kuna says these words, a possibility emerges in my mind that's dominated by despair. That's right, we recovered 8 magic wedges. Kuna has the ability to channel power.
何か分かったの？
Kuna nods, takes a deep breath, then raises her voice so everyone at the main gate can hear her.
みんなクーに力を集めて。
I guess this is a Spirit Bomb reference.
城塞が止めるから。空に浮かんでる神殿止めてみせるから。
I mean, they're already tired though. What's the point of taking their powers, right? As she says this, Kuna takes a powerful stance as she prepares to move Gorakuna Fortress. But when the words reach everyone's ears, they gaped in confusion. Okay, so what's the fort gonna do? Gorakuna Fortress turns its head towards the temple to prepare a response, as if it's trying to make my words sound more convincing.
みんな城塞来たよ。クーに力集めて。
As the confusion has spread, people began to pour their magic power into her. They must have reasoned there was nothing else they could do.
行くぞ。最後の一滴まで振り絞って彼女に力を送る。
結界が破られたこの状況で魔力も減った俺に今やれることはこれしかない。わずかな可能性だろうと信じてみせる。強
興味深い。あの巨体を自在に動かし、かつ集まった魔力を収束するだと。それを間近で観察するためだけでも参加する価値がある。
Some people start sending magic power to Kuna. More and more proceed to join in. I guess the quick change of thinking due to the judgment of personal benefit is one advantage the Duchy of Mephi has since most people are mages.
女神様にも助けられちゃったんだもん。絶対に生き残らないと。そうじゃないと彼女にも失礼よね。私たちより小さな女の子が頑張っているのに諦められないわ。非公国の人じゃないのにここまでしてくれているのに、メフィ公国の私たちがやらないとかっこ悪いのね。あと一息、もうちょっとだけでも力を。
Yeah, right.
もう魔力もカラカラだけど限界まで。限界を超えても彼女に捧げる。
どうしてだろうか。なんだか胸が詰まってしまっている。
I don't, Gabbert, because this situation doesn't really make sense to my, to me, to be honest. A lot of these guys would have been like going away by themselves using the teleporter in Mephi Tower already. The fact that they stick around and channel their magic, it's so unbelievable.
この国でこんな風に皆が一致団結する姿が見られるとは。リルがこれを見たらどう思うのだろう。
I don't know, but I'm puking seeing this because it's so unbelievable.
この状況で笑っている場合か。この絶好の機会に対応手段が生まれるのならば、我らが後押しせずにどうする。老骨の身であれど、魔力量ならば若者に負けはせぬ。
どうかご無理なさらずに。あなたはまだこの国に必要なお方なのですからね。あなたの分も私が魔力を注ぎましょう。
Why did they make such a basic shonen story when the first game was so good? God, why did they do that? This is like such basic shonen, it's not even a good shonen. As the mages of the Duchy of Mephi stand strong, the sight inspires my dependable friends.
クーちゃんはグアラクーナ城塞で私にはできないすごいこともできちゃうんだね。かっこいい。
It's so unbelievable that this spirit is also stronger than a goddess.
よっしゃ、最後の最後の悪あがきやってやろうじゃねえか。
悪あがきとても心よい響きです。ええ、この場にいる皆の力を合わせて状況を好転させましょう。
負けていられませんね。私たちの頑張りでクーナちゃんのやりたいこと、やらないといけないことを実現させましょう。ふふふのふ。なんとも子供の成長というのは目頭が熱くなりますわね。
あの勇気に応えなければな。情けないことに心が折れかけてしまっていたようだ。
No, you guys barely have any dialogue before this this happened, to be honest.
ああ、危ねえな。くそ、俺様としたことが諦めかけてたぜ。どんな時だって必死に頭と手を動かさねえとな。
一緒にいろんな迷宮を探索してきちんと強くなっていった。まだ年若く体は小さくともクーはもう立派な魔術師であり頼りになる戦士です。
Yeah, everyone's giving like their one-liners.
将来が楽しみね。きっと素敵な女性になるわ。
The typical shonen thing.
それを見届けるためにもここはきちんと乗り切らないと。クーナは城塞、そのことがとっても心強い。うん、みんなでクーナちゃんを支えよう。まだまだもっともっとみんなといたいです。
Yeah, I'm not gonna voice act this Alvaro. I'm so disappointed.
熱い。クーナの中にみんなが入ってくる。ドックンドックンって集まったものが溢れ出しそうなくらいクーの中で
Why even have the jewel? We already absorbed all of the wedges. It doesn't even make sense for the wedge to be there. At least get rid of the wedge for this CG to make sense.
たくさんのいっぱいの力空の中で城塞の中でまとまってお願いクーちゃんみんなの力を一つにまとめてあの空に届けてみんなで協力するってとっても強いんだって証明するから
Nice Kamehameha.
すっげえ空が魔力の余波でキラキラと光ってる。
もっともっとクーちゃんが頑張れるように私たちが後ろを支えないと。こんな終わり方嫌なの。クーみんなを守るんだから。
They tried too hard into making like Kuna being able to do something in the story, I feel.
止まった。
そうだよアンベルちゃん止まってくれたんだよ。やったね
よしよしやったぞ。俺たちが一致団結して乗り切ったんだ。
生きてるよ。泣きそう。
間一髪なんとか生き残りました。一時はどうなることかと思った。
I would have preferred if they all died, to be honest.
ええ、さすがは女神の巫女でしたね。メヒコ王国が彼女に救われましたよ。
まだそう言い切るのは早い。未だ相手は健在。いずれは攻撃機能も復活するだ。
まあまあ今くらいはいいでしょう。ほらあれくらい喜んだ方が親しみやすいですよ。
My friends surround Kuna, jostling and praising her.
ありがとうクー。あなたの頑張りが皆の命を守りました。ええ、大したものだわ。誰にでもできることじゃない。大きく胸を張って大いに喜びましょう。みんなの力を束ねてくれてありがとう。本当にすごかったね。ふーちゃん、ママにもできなかったこと、そうじゃないか。みんなと協力して一緒に解決できて狙い通り全員が元気だよ。
It didn't feel that way in this game, to be honest. In the first game, it felt that way because I definitely see, like, Alvaro and Fia, like, they were anguishing throughout the journey in the first game. In this one, I don't see any anguish from Kuna. This is not how you make her into suddenly becoming a mature person. I don't even get what this is. This was just weird.
無主の女神様の子供だから。
Man, the story writer for this game really doesn't understand just what makes the first game good, because this is... What is this? What am I reading? What is this, really?
使徒と我々はこれより 町の防衛機能を復活させるための行動に移ります。せっかくいただいた時間を無駄にするつもりはない。
No, you guys should evacuate in case that thing reactivates and we fail to finish it off. You shouldn't restore the city's defenses. You should evacuate. You retard. While we have time, get out of this fucking city.
娘をお願いしても良いでしょうか。本来ならば自身で片付ける問題なのは分かっているのですが、娘に向き合うよりも先に私はやるべきことがあります。
After Cabert spoke, Sakura turns his gaze to Amber. She nods briefly in response. It was a sign that Amber's grandfather recognized her power, trusted her as a magician, and was willing to send her on her way.
任されました。必ずリルのアホをぶっ飛ばして、いや、なんとか連れ戻してみせます。
取り繕わなくて結構。異様な存在に肉体を支配されているとはいえ、リルには大きな責任がある。
Liru and Amber's relationship also to me felt lacking. We did not see a lot of flashback about their stories or whatever, so I feel like their relationship is just like very superficial.
あなたにぶっ飛ばされるくらいの痛みは受けて当然ですよ。お願いします。
まずは防護結界の修復を急ぐ。立ち上がる余力のある者は共に来なさい。
もはや走る体力すら残っていないが、任せてもらおう。前よりも強固な結界に仕上げてやる。
How the fuck can you even do that? You can't, you idiot. That's why I told you to evacuate.
魔力連動率を上げれば強度が増すはず。本当に素晴らしいものを見た。あれを結界の強化へ応用できないだろうか。
What retards?
さて、我々は町の被害状況を確かめようか。結界と女神一行に守られたとはいえ、余波だけでも相当な衝撃だったはずだからね。
はい、壊れてる建物がないか、怪我してる人がいないか、声をかけながら見て回ってきます。包帯と消毒のための薬草と魔力回復薬ってまだ残ってるのかな。忙しくなる。
Well, they must be exhausted. The people disappear from the front of the main gate in a flurry of resounding footsteps. They really do switch things up fast. We need to do our part as well.
また攻撃が来るかもしれないもんね。その前にティアリーさんと女王様を止めないと。ちょっと疲れたから休んでもいいかな。
リル、待ってろよ。飛ばしてちゃんと目を覚まさせてやるからな。
With our minds clear, we prepare for our next move while giving ourselves time to recover our strength. Alright, I'm back at full strength. Thanks to Kuno, we have an opportunity to stop our enemy from attacking. Let's transfer this to the sealed Temple of Vilks to stop Giri Gaidol's attempt to rebel and stop Queen Shiba, who's taken over Aliru's body.
おお、全部がうまくいくように頑張ろう。まだまだ頑張れる。
おじい様にも同行することを許してもらえた。私がきっちりとリルをぶっ飛ばしてやるぜ。
Let's get moving as soon as we're ready. Our opposition will also be preparing while we spend time preparing. We'll be racing against time now. Let's get inside quickly and put a stop to the schemes of the evil Seal group. Man, there's a reason why I'm always so tired after recording a session of this game. It sucks. My god, it sucks. Okay, I'm gonna end the episode right here. I don't know how much is left of the game, but I don't think it can be that long. Maybe we're not even gonna get Liru Foulard until like post-game or something. I'm not sure. But either way, I am so exhausted from playing this game, and it's not from playing the game, it's from reading the retarded story, guys. Jesus Christ, it just makes me, I don't know, it doesn't feel good reading this. Like, it's crazy because I don't know. Like, I'm not even angry, right? And I was angry while I was playing, like Rika. I was pretty angry when I was playing that because the game was unbalanced. But it was still a pretty good game. The only thing I didn't dislike about it at the end was the fact that it had a lot of H scenes that were very long. And when it comes to like ditzy demons, I was angry at that too, but it was a different kind of anger. It was an anger that I felt, you know, I don't know, maybe it was because the ditzy demons ended not long, right? It was the length of time too. I think for this game, I've been angry and disappointed for a lot longer, and that's why it got to the point where what I'm feeling is just very, very deep. That's all I can say. Like, wow. Okay, with that said though, I'm gonna end the episode right here. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Give this video a like if you guys like it. Except if you guys haven't, Patreon will be getting these episodes for early access along with everything uncensored. You guys can see that Amber garbage H scene if you guys want to. For people on YouTube that aren't on Patreon just yet, feel free to become a free member because that's gonna be where I put first episode previews of future playthroughs. This game is not worth your time, guys. That's all I'm gonna say. After I'm done finishing this, playthrough, I'm gonna make an update video for sure telling people to stay the fuck away from this game if they enjoyed the first game. Stay the fuck away from this game. It's bad. It's very bad. See you guys.